Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Runcam Link FPV air unit, aka Runcam's version of the Cadex Vista. Now, a couple of days after this guy was released, Cadex then announced that the original DJI Cadex Vista is available with the original DJI camera, and you can actually buy the DJI camera separately as well. I got these from Drone Authority. However, I do think that it's good that we have Runcam in the game when it comes to the Vista, because although you can now get hold of these, it is still a limited run. So if this is your favorite version of the DJI system, then go out and get one now before it runs out. However, I do think that the polar camera and also the Runcam MIPI, which I reviewed on the channel previously, has a place. You see, the more people we have manufacturing these cameras, the better. As I say, this version, you know, we don't know how long it's going to be out for until stock runs out. And these cameras add something more. When I reviewed the Polar camera from Cadex, it had amazing low light capabilities, and the MIPI was okay. Personally, I would have skipped the MIPI. Too much vibration and jello suffering with this particular camera, but this is actually a different camera on this one. This is the Runcam Phoenix. Now, they have got some of the specs wrong on this box here. It says that it supports up to 7.4 to 17.6 volts. I imagine that's because they've got that information from the original DJI Air unit. They're calling it the Air unit, but originally it was going to be the DJI Air unit Lite and then the Cadex Vista. So this one is just a normal Cadex Vista, so it can take up to the 6S voltage. What a lot of people struggle with is the fact that it's stuck in 16:9 resolution and the 720-60 FPS mode, which the Polar camera is stuck in. Now, personally, I think it's daft. In this hobby, we see a lot of people going for numbers, but in reality, the latency on this particular setup is not a lot different from the original DJI camera. I fly in HQ mode with the DJI camera at 25 megabit, just so we've got more channels to fly with more people, and between the HQ mode and the low latency mode of the original DJI camera at 50 megabit, you can't really tell much of a difference. What I'm mainly interested with this setup though is how it performs in low light specifically. It's something that the original DJI camera doesn't do very well. Something that the Polar camera does very well from Cadex. But let's see what we have got here in the box. So this is just your usual DJI Vista Air Unit Lite. They're calling it the Runcam Link. And then the Phoenix camera here, which is different to the MIPI camera. So if we take a look, that's the MIPI camera, which is shorter. We've got a longer lens on this one. Something that is slightly different as well, the coax does come out of the top, but it bends backwards, which is nice. Whereas the MIPI, it doesn't bend backwards, it comes straight out of the top. So yeah, you're gonna have to make sure, you know, if you're sticking it on a frame, that, you know, this isn't gonna poke out the front. But really, all I'm interested in is its performance against the MIPI and the Polar. See, we've got a different antenna. Yeah, I mean, it's the same antenna, it's just got Runcam's information on it. And actually, you would have to connect that yourself. and we've got silicon wire JST connector here. Yeah, you have to solder that up to the pads underneath. We do have a wiring diagram, pretty straightforward. Let's see how much it weighs. That's 31.1 grams. Anyways, I'm gonna stick this on my Protect 25 and let's see how it performs. So, the Runcam Phoenix and the Runcam Link, aka the Vista. Well, it's a very windy day here today, so I don't think this Cinewhoop style model, this is the Protect 25, it's going to do too well in the wind. Very contrasty, isn't it, compared to, I think, the Polar, and also definitely the DJI camera. Let's go for full throttle. Now that's interesting, because when I reviewed the Runcam MIPI on this model, it was suffering with Jallow into the sun, and through the goggles at least I'm not seeing that, not at all, which I find really interesting. There's some cameras more susceptible to Jallow. This camera is touching the bottom of the plate where the motors are connected to, and with the MIPI that did result in Jallow. This one's doing the same, not resulting in Jallow. My battery's not doing too good. I always think it's important to come out on a sunny day with these cameras, because Jallow is an absolute killer for the HD experience, in my opinion. You need to be mounting your camera properly. This is the Protect 25, the first edition, so not the Pusher. It seems like there's a little bit of noise, a little bit blocky. But beautiful field of view. But can you see how kind of contrasty everything is? Probably difficult. Oh, and then it's just changed white balance on me from like a sort of bluey colour to a warmer colour. Oh, the wind's really getting underneath this Cinewhoop and causing it to float about. But my first impressions are it's great. You know, we don't know what's going to be happening with DJI. Are they going to bring a V2 out? What is for certain is that those current run of DJI cameras, the original camera, is limited. They've got quite a lot in stock, however, it is going to run out. That's the information that I've got from Cadex. We always need more options. Since the last time I flew in here, it's become a bit clearer. But again, I'm just going to talk about latency, because it winds me up. You know, more latency, what? You know, it's like 33 milliseconds. It's nothing. We're not racing with these things either. When I switch between the what they call low latency, you know, 120 FPS, and then this is basically like the high quality mode, but it's a little bit easier. We get slightly lower latency, I think, than the high quality mode on the original DJI camera. So like low 30s, you are not going to notice that. So yeah, I'm really glad that there are all these other cameras. And yeah, I think I still prefer the original DJI camera, but this one definitely has its place. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. See if I can get out. Okay. Alrighty, let's see if the Runcam Phoenix can live up to the Polar. I tell you what, it is completely pitch black here. It could not get any darker, and let's see if I can get across the field. Oh yeah. I mean, it's noisy. Ah, do you know what? We've got some moonlight. Look at that. So, not a completely fair test. But you know what? I think this is better. This is better than the Mippy. I could just tell straight away, just the street lighting and the way that the camera is changing its light. But over the field, we do have some moonlight. So that isn't going to make it fair, but yeah, this is pretty cool. What's not cool is that it's blowing a massive breeze, and on 0 throttle I'm not losing altitude. Oh, but this is superb. Trying to see if that's, see, I can see the bin, no problems. But what I can't tell, yeah, I think the moon is helping a little bit. So yeah, good night camera. So you know, people are going to be asking, you know, at the start of this video, why? What is the point in these cameras when you can, you know, just get the DJI camera? Well, it's this. I can't even get out onto this field with the DJI camera. I could with the Mippy, but it was sketchy as anything. I can't see where the ground is, but I can see that there is a ground there. I would say, you know, when I flew with the Polar, it was pitch black, and there was no moonlight to help. Oh, the moon, there you go. Well, there we go. Moon's gone in. Gone in. So let's see. Oh, this is pretty good, you know. I would say it is as good, if not a little bit better, than the Polar. I can see the bottom of the trees here. They are different conditions. There's not much cloud in the sky here. And I think that helps when flying in the dark, but yeah, this isn't a problem flying at night. Just, you know, bit of street lighting. We do have light showing through the trees more as well. Now it's autumn. But there you go. Good night performance from the Runcam Phoenix. To be careful because can't see where the ground is. Just using the street lighting as a reference, but no problem in low light with the Runcam Phoenix. And the Link, as they are calling it. Yeah. Impressed. Glad that we've got other options, especially for low light, because gone 4 p.m. here in the UK in the winter. That's your lot. Even, you know, 3:45, completely dark. So it's a camera I appreciate. Lovely wide field of view. Great performance in the day. A great performance at night. It's one I would recommend. So yeah, I'll stick a link in the video description as well as a pinned comment. If you want to see what the Polar performed like and the MIPI, check out the MIPI review where I flew all 3 of them. I really don't want to do that again tonight. Feel like I'm just covering old ground, but there's a little bit more noise on this one than the Polar, but I actually think it's actually a little bit better with the low light than the Polar. So there you go. Yeah, link in the video description as well as a pinned comment, and as always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers. Whoa, that is dark.